Morning, guys. The best job I ever had in jail. There are many jobs you can have in jail, quite a few. Right? Yes, that's good. Just to say, all my previous YouTube recordings were done on that. Crazy, isn't it? Yes. It's amazing what you can do YouTube videos on. Right, the best job I ever had in prison, and that has to be the kitchen. Because when you're working in the kitchen, you aren't in prison. Your mind can be trained to do so many things. And I used to train my mind to just concentrate on what was at hand. I was the butcher. So obviously, getting all the meat ready, the orders ready, getting it all put into the machines, the ovens, they're not ovens, they're bloody steamers. They are at Bullingdon anyway. Anyway, yes. That was possibly the best one I ever had. Best job. I also worked in Earlstoke kitchens. Whilst I was there, one of the prisoners kept coming up to me and saying, because they didn't know me, I wasn't on that circuit. Because in England and Wales, different courts serve different prisons. And if you're from a different area and you've gone into a court, let's say, I was always West Berkshire, so Bullingdon, sometimes Winchester, but mostly Bullingdon. But you can end up in the London jails, but very rarely. So because I'd committed an offence down in, where was it? Wiltshire way, I ended up in Caulfield. Then, of course, they allocate you and you can end up Earlstoke, all them kinds of places. Anyway, the kitchens at Earlstoke, whilst I was there, this guy kept coming up to me, are you this, are you that, asking me all kinds of questions. So I just basically politely said, yes, mate, I'm not here to answer your questions. And after a little bit more questioning, he was told to fuck off. So he must have thought, I've got one here. So then he goes on, comes back, next morning. Oh no, you're good, you're sound, you got off your driving. Telling me about my record. I thought, how does he know all this? Oh, he must have somebody on the that works in the bloody administration building. It wasn't that. He was actually having an affair with one of the women, the civilian women that ran the prison. I found that out after a few weeks later because I was released and it was in the Sun newspaper. So that's how close prisoners can get to civilians in there. Having said that civilian was probably one of the ugliest women I've ever seen, this doesn't really matter, does it? But, men have needs and he must have got his met there. I certainly wouldn't meet him there anyway. Anyway, yes, the kitchen is a different... they just throw you into work in there. And there's plenty of it for the few hours you are there. From what we start, sometimes 9 in the morning, sometimes it can be 7. But different kitchens, different hours. I mean, in Hallfield, when I was getting up, we were going at 6 o'clock in the morning. In Bullingdon, it's slightly later. And in Earlstoke, I think it was 9 o'clock. It wasn't 6, no. Anyway, the work there is just so monotonous, but you get your head into it, and then when they tell you got to go back to your cell, it is a little bit of a buzzkill, And that's when it all comes back to you. You're in prison again. But I mean, I'm 54 now. I first went to prison when I was 19 on remand. I've probably been in prison. I don't like telling you on this online. It's my private business. But I bet I've been in prison 35 times, or slightly more. I have quite a few convictions. But I mean, having said that, it wasn't an easy upbringing. And I was a little bit free with making decisions. So when people ask me these days about decisions, I always say stop and think. Don't rush into a decision. Don't make a decision quickly, and don't be forced to make decisions that you don't want to make. Because when it comes to pay the price for the decision you've made, you'll be the one sitting behind the door, sitting behind that big thick steel door. So don't do it. That's my little bit of wisdom for you guys today. A lot of you guys will know all this and just, I'll just be scroll down. Anyway, guys, yeah, that was it. But I've been in various prisons, lots of prisons, and I think one of the best prisons I was ever in was Hallfield, because they were just so good down there, and speak to you like you're a piece of shit, unless you want to be speaking. If you speak to them like a piece of shit, then they'll obviously do the same to you. But Hallfield was all right in my book. And Bullingdon's okay. It's just parts of the prison I don't get on with. But luckily for me, I haven't got to go back there. My last prison sentence was, I believe, in 2018. Early 2018, I only did 6 months, but that was enough for me, and that was my last prison sentence. This is the last sentence I intend to do. And the only way you can stop yourself going to prison is by making better decisions. It's like somebody once said to me, draw a line in the sand. And you've got to be able to draw a line somewhere. It's all very well screaming about getting caught, going to prison, being in prison, the way they treat you in prison. But if you're not making the right decisions, then how can you expect a good outcome? And that's going to probably be my focus from now for people who are new into the criminal justice system. They've just started out. They've just started finding that they can earn money through illegal avenues. Then you're the people that should be watching this. You're the people that should be learning from my mistakes. You might have earned a few quid and you might have done it and got away with it, but you won't always get away with it. And then when prison comes, it will come in a big way to you. And the police that always gave you bail before won't give you bail, and you'll be sat in police custody for how many ever days it takes them to get you to court. Especially with this coronavirus going, so you need to stop and think. That's what I do. I do it every day. I do it every hour of the day now. When, see people or old people that I used to get into trouble with, I'm on it now. It's all right talking about it. You've got to do it. Anyway, guys, respect Cody. You know the score. Like, share, subscribe, and sorry about that. Take it easy, guys. You stay safe out there, yeah? Later.